Hello everybody, my name is Ilya.
And my name is Tyler. Together we make up Kovray, a couple that loves to play board games.
And making memories.
Eeeeee.
Now this is our Check It Out series where we showcase various games to you in hopes of inspiring you to play them. And today we're looking at Vivid Memories.
Do you remember to check out this game? Because you should. Check out this game. Check it out. Okay, I'm done.
Nice. Now this game is designed by Matthew Dunstan and Brett J. Gilbert. It's published by Floodgate Games, and the beautiful illustrations are done by Andrew Bosley.
That's an elephant.
Now, in Vivid Memories, you'll be collecting fragments of your memories and moments in your life to build some core memories, create threads in your brain to eventually just have a lot of memories and moments that you can look back on and be victorious in.
By creating those memories, you're going to create those awesome aspirations that you'll be headed towards and hopefully succeed in your goals.
Exactly. Well, let's give you a quick overview of how to play.
As always, you'll begin by setting up. Each player will get their own player board and a face-down aspiration tile. This will be used for end game scoring. You can take the scoreboard, place it in the center with the player trackers and the round tracker on it. Then shuffle the moment tiles, place them in the center. Then you'll fill the fragment bag based on the player count. The remaining tokens can be set in the open as a supply. You're then ready to begin. Vivid Memories is played over 3 rounds in 4 different phases. Prepare, remember, reflect, and reward. In Prepare, you'll set up the moment tiles with fragment tiles on it based on the player count. Then you'll move to the Remember phase, where you'll take turns taking 1 to 3 fragments from either end of the board. If you select 3 fragment tokens, you'll have to select 3 different colored tokens. If you select 2, they have to be the same color. If you're just selecting 1 fragment, select any of those fragments and then you'll be able to rewire, which we'll talk about shortly. Now place all the fragments you've selected onto your board into an empty space. If on your turn you emptied a moment tile, take that tile with you. Now, if you selected only 1 fragment tile, you're able to rewire. Rewiring can be done in 2 different ways. Either you can move any number of fragment tokens out of a selected space into the adjacent spaces, or you can move any number of fragment tokens from adjacent spaces into the space you choose. It's important to note that you can't do both. You'll continue this phase if there are still moment tiles in the center of the board. If there are not, you're ready to move on to the Reflect phase. Start the Reflect phase by placing any of your collected memory tiles into the memory banks on the top of your player board. Then you're able to perform up to 4 of the available actions. Each action can only be used once, but they are optional. Actions do a variety of things such as add, split, combining, moving, or swapping fragments. If you perform an action on a moment tile, flip that moment tile over. Then, once everybody has finished using all of their actions, you can move to the reward phase. If you flipped over any moment tiles, take a look to see if you've completed the goal. If you have completed the goal, score the corresponding points and remove that moment tile from the memory bank. Then you're going to want to take a look at the connections you've made. These are adjacent direct spaces with the same color that form from one empty memory bank to another. If you have any of these connections, you'll score based on the number of hexes in that thread and multiply it by the number of empty cores it connects to. If any of those memory slots are empty, you'll be able to move one of the adjacent colored fragments into that empty slot. And those will help you score more points and an ongoing bonus at the end of each round. Once everybody has completed scoring, you can move on to the next round. If you're in the last round, you'll score additional points for your aspiration tile you were given at the start of the game. Now these are all based on colors. You'll score 1 point for each fragment token in the hexes on your board. You'll score 2 points for each fragment token in a core memory slot, and you'll score 5 extra points for each cherished moment tile beside your board that contains that color. Then whoever has the most points at the end of the game will be declared the winner.
Will you have the best memory? So what do you think?
I really like this game. It's a lot of fun. It's a puzzly more puzzly than I thought it was going to be, especially for a 30 to 60 minute game.
I feel like I'm usually really good at these types of games, but I am not good at this game.
This is definitely my type of game.
I thought it was my type of game.
100% this is my type of game.
Did you notice that the board looks like a brain?
Yeah, that was the first thing I noticed, actually.
Oh, I thought it was so clever. I was saving it for the video. And, of course.
It's like a brain cloud of amazingness memories. Yeah.
And threads of connection.
Exactly. But like I was saying, it is a lot more puzzly than I thought it was going to be. And I will say that less is more in this game. It felt as though you wanted to take 3 fragment tiles all the time, or fragment tokens all the time. But rewiring is so good in this game.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really important in this game. So you really have to pay attention to it for goals, for making those connections, those color threads, like for everything really.
And that's also the balance of like when to take, so you get the moments.
Yeah.
Because when moments cover up your kind of core actions you can take, those top 4, it makes me sad because I plan to use the swap, but then I have too many moments in my life.
Yeah.
And I can't do it. And it makes me not... And especially if you don't finish them and you don't take them and then they just stay there and kind of linger, which is not really fun.
I will say that I appreciate, specifically with the moment tiles, is they show the goal on both sides.
Yeah.
So they'll show the action as bold, and then almost like the goal is like slightly faded. Yeah.
That'd be
so
really
you can plan
inconvenient
ahead.
if you have to like keep
flip back
flipping and checking.
Yeah, I guess it's like super user friendly. Which brings us to our next point.
Yes.
About the quality of this game.
Oh, the quality of this game is so good.
Yeah.
Like we do have the Kickstarter deluxe version, so I'm not 100% sure how different the retail version will be.
I actually can't remember.
I think the player mat's not included in the main one, and like the first player token and like little things. I think it's not a ton. But overall, the quality and production of this game is just beautiful. The feel of those tiles, the dual layer board of how they fit.
It's very satisfying.
And it's like the art in it, the way that it all flows together. It's such a unique and different theme. But you're just, connecting and building some core memories in your brain, and it's quite wonderful.
Yeah. The only thing I would say as a downside is with the connections, is sometimes, because it feels like it's called a connection thread, so it feels like you should be able to like weave yourself through all of these, but depending on how you place your tiles, they're still connected.
Yeah,
but
so if the hex
they're not
is connected,
touching. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes the tiles, so that can be a little bit confusing at times,
but
sure.
Regardless.
Small, minor thing.
Exactly.
So why should you check it out?
Well, the first thing I want to say is this is definitely one of those games where I feel like you can get better and better and better at as you play, which is perfect because it makes me want to play the game even more and keep going and keep on beating Ilya.
Tyler doubled my score. So I definitely need to play this game more and get better as we go.
But it is one of those games where like even if you're dealt a unfortunate series of events, like you can still like work your way towards like using those moments to get yourself these goals. And I think because that motivation is there to like really prove to yourself that you can get better, and if that's something that you have as a personality trait, then Vivid Memories is definitely worth checking out.
And I think even if you do kind of beat somebody by a lot of points during the game, you don't really know that because you collect points at the end of the round, but then there's also end of game. There's a lot of ways that you don't really know who's going to be winner until it's the winner.
And those large connection threads that you do make end up only scoring once, but they're worth a lot of points. It's just you won't actually see it come to fruition until then.
You gotta finish all the core memory slots, and then that's where you cash in some money memories.
That's true. That's true.
Now, the other element, too, that I really enjoy is it's really intriguing. Like, if this game was at the table, you best believe I would want to know what's happening. Like, the quality of it all, but also, like, the illustrations and the whole theme and the whole kind of design of it, you want to know what's happening in this game.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, even, we got it literally day one, and we looked at it, we're like, we probably need to play this right now.
Yeah, that's just such like an interesting concept, right? Because what you're doing is you're basically collecting different memories,
fragments.
Yeah, and turning them into like core memories that motivate your aspirations. And like, never would I have thought about a game that is based on building these memories that end up like shaping who you are and push you towards becoming like the person that you want.
The game is pretty abstract, but I think like the memories and the theme is just a nice icing on the top, because it does come into play. You look at the picture, you're like, oh, that's really cool. I'm learning how to fly, or I'm climbing a tree, and there's like those small things that really does elevate the experience.
Yeah, you definitely feel like you can get really involved with this game and like even like daydream yourself. But to that point, Ilya mentioned is it's pretty abstract. So if you like games like Azul, name a couple other, Sagrada, like those types of
Mandela stones.
Yeah.
It is quite abstract, and it's a very think ahead, plan forward type of game. So if that's you, then that's game for you.
Yeah, exactly. Why though should we not check it out?
Ooh. So I'm not great at this game. And it does feel defeating at times when Tyler beats me by doubling my score or almost even tripling it, I think, one of the times. So I think that's not great. So if you look for close games and you feel very defeated when somebody beats you again and again, then this may not be the game for you. Then again, like,
I think even to that point though, like if you manage to get some of the goals early on, it's hard as an opponent to really try to catch up to that. There is not really a give and take where you can say, oh, he got 18 points this turn, now Ilya's going to continue to get 18 points. Like, I can't stop him from doing that, and 18 points is a lot in this game.
Yeah.
So,
but it is hard to make those 3 spots too, and I think oftentimes it doesn't happen the first, or even sometimes the second. Like, I don't think, have you done it the second?
I've done it the second, you have to get pretty lucky. Yeah. And even then, like, it's still a lot of points that you can't really mitigate.
Yeah. There could be a point spread at the end of the day, and if you're not for big point spreads, then this game might not be for you.
Well, it's this game where you have to like basically plan ahead. You look at it and it feels like it's not that way, but then you get through a couple of rounds or a couple times playing it, and you realize that you really have to be trying to like optimize your strategy, really planning ahead, and you can't have those moments of, oh, I'm just gonna like go with the flow. And I think that sometimes that can be a deterrent to some people for games.
Yeah. See, I think that's me in a nutshell, because I love like just going with the flow and being really adaptable. And I don't think this is a game that you do have to adapt with the tiles that you have and kind of create which ways you want to go. But this game does shine if you like, this is my strategy with what the fragment tiles look like. Hopefully I can get them and do my strategy.
There are a lot of freedoms in how you play this game. And I think because of that, it allows the people who excel at planning ahead to do really well at that game, but that's not everybody. So if that's not you, then Vivid Memories might not be a game worth checking out.
Absolutely. So overall, what do you think?
Personally, huge fan of this game. I think it kind of came out with everything that I've been saying. It's beautiful. I love the concept. It's very puzzly. It's a game where I can sit down and just like plan ahead, and I love doing that. It's goal-oriented. Like, there's so much for me that I appreciate about this game, and I'm very happy that I backed it.
I want to play it more. I don't know exactly how I feel about it right now. We've played it a few times now, but I remember the very first time we played it, Tyler's like, do you want to play again? And I was like, but we did, and we played it more since then, and it's slowly growing on me. I think it's still really hard to, like, my mind is not designed for this game, so it's an interesting game for me to keep playing to develop that skill set so I can be better at it. Yeah, but it's definitely not my style of game, which is surprising because when I first saw it, I'm like, this is my game. I'm going to beat Tyler. This is going to be like, I'm going to shine at this, and I do not do well in it. So I need to play more and get better. So that's my overall thoughts.
It's okay. Eventually, there are some games that we have in our collection that are just like, my game. And
I thought this was going to be my game.
Well, yeah, no, but what I mean is, like, no matter how many times we play a game, like, very rarely will I
But I don't want you to double the score of my score.
That's true, yeah.
Like, my goal is, like, you can win, but you don't have to win by, like, half my...
That was a really good game for me, to be fair.
That's fair. Well, and that is Vivid Memories.
Have you played it? What did you think about it? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And for the question of the day,
what is your happiest early memory? Because that's actually the first player.
That's how you
choose the first player. It's the person who can
recall the earliest
happiest memory that they've had.
Is it specifically happy?
It is happy.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
What would mine be? I think my earliest happy memory.
I have this memory of me as a child right when I learned how to walk. I think that's about when it was.
That's pretty early.
Probably like further on, maybe like, yeah, it must have been further on. I don't know how old I was. I was just a wee little boy, and I was only in my diaper, and I had like forks, and my parents had like a Shih Tzu, and I just vividly remember trying to ride this poor thing like a horse. And
no.
Yeah.
Oh no. I think mine is when I was 4, I think. I remember being with my cousins and my grandma and my mom's side of the family, and we were eating watermelon.
Ooh.
And I was very happy that we were having watermelon. But yeah, I think we were like 4 or 5. Like that was pretty young.
See, this is what this game does. It brings the feel goods.
The feel goods.
And then brain crunches you.
Speaking of feel goods, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to your channel, and follow along for more board game content. And tell us what games do you want us to cover in the future. If there's one that's really interesting to you, we'd be happy to chat about it. We're super happy we backed this one, and we're happy to share it with you. And we love to hear your thoughts if you ever get a chance to play it.
Exactly. But until next time, this is us. Check it out.
Goodbye.
Bye.